Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Engineer Asterisk Plays, going back once again to Kerbal Space Program. Last time I did a little bit of research, got some more aerodynamic parts, but yeah, I don't feel like going through and launching with every single new type of part that I get. So, I just went ahead and got some extra science with which to research some additional things. Now we have enough for the next tier here, got some cool stuff, got some Stay Putnik, we got inline reaction wheels, handy dandy, winglets. What I really need though is more science. And I don't see any of that along here. But I have been playing another game on my Surface at the same time, and I do believe if I follow this path, I should come across, yep, more science. Got some science tech going on here, extra batteries, science junior, more comms, not necessarily better, but definitely more. So, I need 45 science to get these guys. So, let's go get us some science. What did I get? I didn't even know. Wasn't paying attention. So, right in, some fuel tanks. Got stack decouplers. I get a whole. Oh, that's right. I got my parachutes. And some landing struts, that might be handy. Goo unit, alright. Back to command pod. Center of all things. What do I want to put on the command pod? Need a bit of a fuel tank. No, I'm going to separate that from the fuel tank. In fact, what I do want to do is I want to make this sort of like a little lander, a little science lander, if you will. Let's get some science in here. Shove these guys on either side. Come here. Kind of like before. Get the Communitron on this side. Just one. There we go. Don't need a whole lot of communication yet, because we don't have a whole lot of power for it anyway. So, alright, so we got that. We got our... Actually, you know what? I don't want those science pods on the side. I'm going to get rid of these. We're going to replace it with a pair of radial mount parachutes. 2 of them. And you'll see why in a moment. We're going to take a girder here. Slap that on the bottom. We're going to take our legs. So I'm going to bring it down nice and slow. Put it on these legs. Wherever it happens to land. And then all around the legs, we're going to put on some science. Believe me, this works. Not sure how, but it works. Actually, since these guys don't really need the egress, take this guy off. We're going to add a little bit more science. Because, you know, science. Can never too much science. Pop those guys on there. Throw in some Communitrons, make them nice and symmetrical, just for sillies. Alright, and then to this, I'm going to start adding some propulsion. This is going to need a bit of fuel. Come on, there we go. Well, first I want to be able to separate it. Because this whole assembly is going to land as it is. Legs extended, of course. What do we need? Structural and stack decoupler. There we go. Where'd my fuel tank go? Here it is. So this is going to be like our space tank. Don't need to go real far with it. We're not going to use this engine, though. This engine is kind of the suck. We're going to stick with the LVT-30. And then we're going to... Oh, not that. This. There we go. That'll go there. I'm going to raise it up a little bit to get under it here. And then down here, I'm going to throw on... Now, I haven't implemented costs yet. I'd like to see how that works. You know, maybe I won't be able to throw on all of these overpriced tanks Definitely gonna put the big guy down there. And we're gonna put some solid fuel around the outside. We won't be able to detach that. Go like so. And then motors. Come on. Just so. Let me see if we can take these guys, lower them a bit so we can just sit on that. Looks like it'll let me. Sweet. It's not quite low enough. How low can you go? That low, apparently. Alright. So we're gonna need some aerodynamics, help this thing get up and into space. Some of these outer guys here. Looks pretty symmetrical, doesn't it? Raise it up a little bit. Alright, nose cones all around. Oop, no, nose cones. There we go. And we are going to want some additional fins, because this is still going to be active after those are released. Don't need any up here, because this will be in space. Alright, am I missing anything? Get that, get that, get that. Use as many parts as we can, because we can. Use as many parts as we can. Got the decouplers, got some propulsion, except that guy. That guy sucks. Maybe we can go to the moon. We'll take this guy along. Alright, so I'm gonna fix this up and then we'll get right to launching. Alright, here we are, all ready to launch. We'll take a quick look at some goo. We'll go ahead and transmit it. We'll go ahead and use up some of this stored power here before we get launching. Tweak that up, turn on SAS, and fire. Now, as you can see, while the engines are burning, my power is going up, so I'm going to make some observations while I'm at it here. And transmit it back for science. Yeah, not enough electric charge, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it done with. Almost out of solid fuel. Away they go. Oh, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? Get back here. I don't know what is up with these rockets, man, but they are just not cooperative. Alright, no, I don't want mystery goo. I want a crew report. Send it. Because crew reports are worth a lot of science. How's my orbit looking? Not great. 17,000. I think it's going to be another suborbital flight. Let's see. How's my power? Lots of power. We're going to look at some more mystery goo. Send it. Now, once we get those batteries, we'll be able to send more of these reports as we go along. Send some more goo. And transmit it. Now you also want to do these at different points in your flight. Because the more different points you get, the more science you get. I don't know if you noticed that last bit. I only got 0.6 science because I've already observed goo in flight. But while I'm in orbit, I'll probably get a little bit more. I'm going to turn this guy. We're pointing this away. Get rid of that. Wait for it to drift away a bit and fire from the next engine. We're just going to turn that down a little bit. So we do want it to generate power, but we don't need it to generate a whole lot. Let's get another crew report. Fax it. And that was worth 1.3 science because there's a bit of a diminishing return kind of thing going on here. That's my orbit. Alright, I'm going to wait till I get a little bit closer to Apo. Or Perry. Perry? Apo. Which one is that? They're calling it Apoapsis because it's my highest point. So we're going to wait till we get there, and hopefully we can get this guy into an orbit and make some additional observations. See you there. Alright, sadly we did not have enough fuel to make it into orbit, so we're going to take what we've got. We're going to send this stage away since we no longer need it. It's just dead weight. And we're going to wait till we start re-entering orbit and make some observations. Actually, while I'm up here, I'll observe some mystery goo and keep some data. Clumped into a sphere. Alright, we'll keep that. And just carry on, I suppose. Alright, so it's getting a bit warm. Let's see if we can get some different observations out of this mystery goo. It's getting very cold. Okay, it's unexpected, but not very useful. Also very cold. Keep that. How about a crew report? Crew report. Very much in space. Get rid of that. We're now in lower atmosphere. Deploy shoots. Turn off SAS, so it stops fighting it. And do some observations. Jiggles and wobbles as craft flies. Definitely keeping that. This one I already have. That one's already good. Flip it around. Alright, so then we got data on all my goo except this guy. Jiggles and wobbles. We're going to keep that. Alright, what's the crew have to say? Crew report. You record crew's assessment of the situation. Okay. We're going to keep that data. Am I going to land in water? Am I going to land? I'm going to land in water. Typical. Alright, as long as I slow down soon. Going pretty slow already. These shoots are pretty effective as they are. Go ahead and deploy those anyway, just because we can. Completely unnecessary, to be sure. But hey, why not? Another observation. Jiggles and wobbles. This goo likes to jiggle and wobble. I guess it's space Jell-O. And we'll splashdown. Reset the canister. Observe mystery goo. Goo escapes into the water. Keeping that. How about the one that's above the water here? Mystery goo. Escapes into the water. Alright. Keep it. This is actually more valuable than the data I'd gotten in orbit. Keep it. Alright, so we've lost some mystery goo to the water. For some situations, it's actually less valuable, but we have to keep it anyway. Let's recover the vessel. Take it back, see how much science we got out of that. We're up to 55 science. I earned 13 on the mission, and I sent a bunch back. So we're going to finish with that. We're going to go, and we're going to do some research into more science. So we got battery packs, we got Science Junior, got Comms DTS, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. We're going to research that. Where does that lead us, actually? Let's take a look. This is going to take us to electrics, which includes a circular rechargeable battery bank. Ooh, finally, solar panels. Illuminators and more illuminators. Sweet. What's this? Exploration, which includes thermometers, more science, and a mobility enhancer, so ladders. And this micro landing strut and some wheels. Sweet, maybe we can start making some aircraft, but I need 90 science for that. That's going to require quite a bit of sciencing. Tell you what, let's head back and build ourselves a new science vehicle. Alright, blank slate, get our command pod out here. To this command pod, we are going to attach... Where's my science? Here's my science. A science junior. Science junior, again, going to be handy for, well, science. Let's see. We'll bring along some mystery goo as well. I don't know how much value it's going to be. Maybe we'll try to make it to the Mun this time. Do a couple of orbits and head back home. So, no, wait. I need that space for... the parachute. And more parachutes. Come on. Here we go. Good old parachutes. I need comms. Now this, what is this? 0.03, so this is deployables, 0.03 mass. Drag 0.2, same drag. Higher max temp, only by 200 degrees. Let's see, better impact tolerance. But this is higher throughput. And a higher transmission interval. This is actually still better for our purposes, so... Oop. I only want one of those for now. So, same basic setup as before. I do want some legs here. What was that under? I forget. Landing struts. Quad it. There we go. Alright. Now, along with those, we want some additional batteries. These guys are pretty small, so we can pack them in. These are going to come in really handy. Can fit in a third set? Yes. Sweet. All the batteries. Alright, and we're going to bring along some goo anyway. Yeah, the data value might be a bit limited, but, you know, I need science. Lots and lots of science. Alright, this part looks pretty good. Tell you what, let's start moving on down. Let's see, I need a coupler. Start putting... You know, let's try to take this guy to the Mun, see if we can get a little bit more out of that goo. Which means extra fuel. There we go. He's gonna be a pretty tall guy. Alright, we're all set up for launch. Got my extra batteries here. I'll show you how much extra power that adds. We now have 1250, where before we only had 50. Which is very nice. We're going to go ahead and make some reports now. So we can get our mystery goo. Actually a decent amount of science. Transmit it. Transmit it. And... yeah, you can see how the scientific value goes down the more you observe it, the exact same conditions. So I'm going to transmit that last bit there. We're going to take a crew report. Not a very valuable crew report, but we're going to send it anyway, because why not? Now on to the Science Junior. We're going to take a look at the materials bay here. Little signs of change. Some of the samples appear to be judging you silently. Very important. We're going to send that. Alright, so now that all my ground reports are done, get this bad boy into orbit. SAS, fire! Corkscrewing a little bit, that's fine. Taking a look at the materials bay here. See, less resilient samples appear to have splattered around the interior, forming new and interesting color combinations. That's definitely valuable. away goes solid fuel. Gonna rotate this a bit. We're gonna start heading east, because for some reason it launched us to the west. Come on. Don't be stubborn. Still in atmosphere. Give me those winglets. Alright, that should do. Take a crew report. Not very valuable. Just to pitch that. How about some goo? Not very valuable. We're just going to go ahead and pitch that. No, don't want landing struts. Take a look at the materials bay here. Still valuable. Send it. And up, up, and away. How's orbit looking? Not stupendous. Alright. Well, let's see how much of an orbit we can get out of this thing, and I'll meet you in the skies. Alright, we've made a fairly shallow orbit here, so let's go ahead and do some science, maybe make a few orbits, do a bit more science, and see what it's worth. So we got some goo. Send it. Send crew report. And our science junior. That's worth a decent amount of science. See if we can elongate this orbit a bit. Take it from periapsis here. Maybe make some deep space observations. Can I hit the moon? Maybe? No? No? No moon. Oh, well, maybe. I can definitely hit the moon, but I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot out of the experience. Tell you what, we'll shoot for it until our fuel reserves run low, and then we'll try to keep enough to at least deorbit this thing. So, back to staging. Node's in 15 minutes. We're going to speed it up, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, apparently at some point when I was playing around with the controls, I re-entered the atmosphere. So, I guess our orbit wasn't so great. We're going to take some science here. And hopefully survive. See, get my science junior. Keep that. Transmit it. Deploy shoots. Turn off SAS. Drop the legs. Looks like we're actually going to land on land this time, so maybe we can actually make some, poignant observations of the goo while we're there. Good data. We're going to transmit it. See my house from here. That's fairly valuable. We're going to send that. Send all the data. Send. Take the materials bay again. Just keep sending that data. Because I got plenty of power. All this data is pretty much worthless at this point. Alright, so we have chutes. We're just going to keep on sending data. Maybe we should install more than one comm antenna. Might help. Alright, we have touchdown. So let's make some more reports here. Transmit it. See how this stuff reacts on the ground. Little signs of change. Transmit it. Just going to transmit all the things. I observe the goo with a capital O. I think some of these might be placeholders. Observe the goo, observe the goo, observe the goo. And we are now out of electric charge. So we are going to make a few last reports and keep a hold of them. And return them when we recover. Because, you know, science. Keep it. One last observation of this one. Keep it. Observe the bay. Keep it. I made a crew report already, so let's recover. See what we got. Good stuff. We now have 69 science. I don't believe that's enough to go to the next tier, but it should definitely be enough to add to our collection of parts. Let's take a look. See, this I think was 90? Yeah, 90 science for these guys. So for now, we're just going to take some of these. Probably catch up with general rocketry. That's 20. Ooh. No, I got enough. And then from general rocketry, we can go to advanced rocketry, which nets us another fuel tank and a radial mount liquid engine. Very nice. We have our general construction, which will get us our stability enhancers, radial decouplers, tri-couplers, which could be interesting, and some strut connectors. We've got our flight control, which has the Staputnik, reaction wheels, a cockpit, and some winglets. This might actually be better for, well, definitely for aircraft, possibly for extra Kerbals in space. And then scrolling down, because that zooms out. Yeah, these guys are just gonna have to wait. So I will see you next time. Like, favorite, subscribe. Let me know below what you'd like me to follow, or if I'm just doing anything wrong, or if there's a better way to get science. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a nice day.